Let me share a quick tip about how to get what you want. And I know that can sound a bit egocentric, but it won't once I explain. This is what I did to manifest a smooth transition moving from Chicago to Northwest Arkansas. This tip is really something that you can use for getting, aligning, and attracting what you want. But before I share what I did, I want to set the context for you. Like I said, we were moving, and like any move out of state, there's a lot of prep and a lot of logistics involved. Deciding where you are going to move, prepping your home for sale, getting a buyer, negotiating the sale, researching a new place to live, securing that place to live, packing your home, packing your animals, the actual move day, all the financials involved in each of those transactions, closing a practice, shifting a business, etc., etc. You get it. There are a lot of steps, right? It is not a stress-free event by any means. However, when you know how to work with energy, I believe, I'm not going to say should because I don't like that word, but I believe it is in your best interest to do what you can in order to facilitate the manifestation of what you really want. Because there were so many moving parts to this move, and because it happened so quickly, I was aware that there were a lot of places where things could have gotten a little or completely derailed or delayed. And I was not available for that. I was like, no, I was stressed out enough. So I made a promise to myself that I was going to be very, very purposeful in where my energy was going. The two things that worked for me to get what I wanted, what I was trying to align with, and what I recommend you to start playing with for you to get what you need are: one, a clear intention, and two, calling in the angels of every party involved. I did this consistently, and I was blown away, still blown away, by the ease of how everything unfolded. And not that I didn't have confidence in what I do, but this experience really boosted my belief and my knowingness in my ability to co-create in the face of the unknown, which is super powerful. So again, to help you attract what you want, you need a clear intention and call in the angels of everyone involved. So I want to give you a couple examples of kind of what this looked like. So when we put our condo on the market, I had a feeling it wouldn't be on the market very long. But, excuse me, I set a clear intention that our home would sell in the perfect amount of time, that was in the highest alignment and the best timeline for myself and my husband. And then I called in our angels, my angels, Josh's angels, even the angels of our two cats, since there are energetic beings in our home that are making the move with us. And I also called in the angels of the buyer, who would be a perfect fit for our home, who would be willing to pay the amount we were asking for, who would be a good match for the closing date we were wanting, and who would enjoy living there as much as we did. And that happened. It happened. Another example that I want to share with you is the actual move day. So transitioning from Chicago to our next landing pad in North Arkansas, thinking about the actual move day, I was a wreck. And mostly because of our kitties. They're really hard to get in carriers. Minnie, we can't even pick her up to get her in a carrier. And knowing that we had a 10-hour drive ahead of us and needing to be out of the condo at a certain time in the early hours of the morning, which was out of their routine, I was a little nervous. You could say I was a little nervous. And as an empath, I can feel what the animals feel when they're freaked out, which that added another level of like, ee, I knew they were going to be freaked out. I knew I wasn't going to be quite on my game that morning. So I was like, look, angels, guides, everyone, there is only one way this is going to work. And I set extremely strong intentions around the entire travel day. And so it started with setting an intention that the journey would be safe and harmonious, setting the intention that getting both kitties into the same carrier would be easy and peaceful, setting an intention that the 600-mile drive would be effortless and that the weather would be clear and dry, and then calling in our angels and asking them for their help and giving them permission, because that's important, giving them permission to assist us with all of that. And I still can't believe it, but the day went off without a hitch. Like, I was still anxious, I was still kind of a wreck, but it went perfectly. And I was so excited about that. I still can't believe it. But anyway, I have a gazillion examples of this move from start to finish, this whole transition. You get the point. But step by step, I was very clear on what I wanted, how I wanted to feel, and I asked for unseen angelic support from everyone involved in the service of the highest good. So remember that intention is powerful because intention is energy. Intention sets the structure for the physical to manifest. It's kind of like an energetic blueprint. So using your energy through intention is something that you can utilize all the time. All the time. And I'm thinking I might teach a mini workshop on exactly how I did it, like the words I used, the framing of it, etc. So drop a comment below if that's something that you'd like to see soon, because, you know, why not share the magic, right? So I hope you start to play with using your intention and calling in your angels to help you get what you desire. It really helps to support your life and support your solar plexus chakra. Have a great week.